This time, it isn't one of your nightmares. This one was mine.
Hi guys, it's time. I'm Timeless Kid, and I hope you're not feeling sleepy because it's time to turn my attention to the horror genre with Wes Craven's iconic and hugely influential 1984 masterpiece, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
We just see cuts happen.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Tina! What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No!
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I know that some people will question if I should even have been allowed to watch this movie, let alone review it, but I think it's worth pointing out that this movie was released over 40 years ago and has been referenced in pop culture so regularly during that time that it's almost impossible not to be aware of it. Also, to have a channel that reviews movies from the 80s and 90s but not do a horror film when the genre was so dominant at the box office just feels wrong. However, if you're one of my younger viewers or easily offended grown-up that doesn't understand that my generation is media literate enough to understand when something is just a movie, feel free to skip this video. While searching for remote control, here's some music.
You is to stay ready, 'cause you know who's back? Freddy. You see, my name is Freddy, and I'm here to say I'll wrap you up and take you away. Feel like you're tired and ready for bed. Don't fall asleep or you'll wake up dead.
Right, so now they're gone, we can get started. The movie opens as teenager Tina Gray awakens from a terrifying nightmare in which a burnt man wearing finger knives attacks her in a boiler room. Her mother rushes into her room and notices mysterious slashes on Tina's nightgown that she reacts to by telling Tina to cut her nails like she's Edward Scissorhands. Speaking of which, the following morning at school, Tina's best friend Nancy and Nancy's boyfriend Glenn, a young Jack Sparrow in his first movie role,
Why is it there?
that they too had nightmares about the same burnt man the previous night. That evening, because Tina's mum is away for the night, Nancy, Glenn, and Tina's boyfriend Rod stay over to keep her company. When Tina falls asleep, she dreams of the burnt man attacking her while simultaneously doing his best Mr. Tickle impression. While Tina is being attacked in her sleep, Rod sees the result of the attack in the real world, seeing deep gashes appear on her body and watching as she is flung around the room, up the walls and across the ceiling, in an incredible and brilliantly innovative practical effect. When he realizes that Tina is dead, Rod panics and runs away, leaving Nancy and Glenn to discover her body. The next day, Nancy's policeman father, Don, arrests Rod, still rocking the leather jacket and no shirt look despite his pleas of innocence. At school, Nancy falls asleep in class and sees Tina in a body bag being dragged down the hallway. She leaves the classroom and finds herself in the same creepy boiler room Tina dreamt about in the opening scene. Suddenly, the burnt man with knives for fingers jumps out and seemingly has her traps, but Nancy burns her arm on a pipe and immediately wakes up in the classroom with the burn still on her arm. Nancy visits Rod at the police station, where he describes Tina's death, along with his own recent nightmares about the same man. Nancy falls asleep in the bathtub and is attacked once again, being dragged under the water in a shot that's so iconic it's up there with Psycho's shower scene. Having survived this, she invites Glenn into her bedroom. Not for any shenanigans, though. Nancy knows to avoid that if she wants to be the final girl. Instead, she asks Glenn to watch over her as she sleeps, and wake her up immediately if she looks like she's having a nightmare. In her dream, Nancy finds herself outside Rod's cell, where she watches the burnt man. I wish we knew this guy's name. It'd make writing this review so much easier, murdering Rod to make it look like suicide. Which is a strange move, considering how little he seemed to care about covering his tracks when he killed Tina. Unless it was his plan all along to frame Rod. I don't know if horribly burnt, knife-fingered dream demons worry about that sort of thing, really. Anyway, Nancy wakes up when her alarm clock goes off as Glenn had fallen asleep. Who'd have thought that Johnny Depp wasn't the type of man a woman could rely on to keep her safe?
Yes, we do notice.
At Rod's funeral, Nancy's parents grow worried when she describes her nightmare, so her mother, Marge, takes her to a sleep disorder clinic, where, under observation, in a nightmare, Nancy grabs the burnt man's fedora and pulls it into the real world. Luckily, his mum has sewn his name inside his hat, in case he lost it, so we can finally learn his identity. Fred Krueger.
What'd you call me? Huh?
Not your friend.
At home, Marge discloses to Nancy that Krueger was a child murderer who killed 20 children, but was released from custody on a technicality. Therefore, the parents of the victims and other residents of Springfield, no, not that Springfield, tracked him down to an old boiler room and burnt him alive. Marge then reaches into a furnace and pulls out Fred Krueger's bladed glove. So he didn't literally have fingers for knives. Nancy, you idiot. Although why Nancy's parents would have retrieved the glove from Krueger's crispy corpse and kept it for themselves is never given any kind of explanation. I'm nitpicking though, because this is such a well-written and acted scene. It's a perfect example of the right way to do an exposition dump. R.I.P. Wes Craven, you genius.
Whoa, that's scary stuff. Hey, should we be worried about the kids in the audience?
No, it's all right. This is culture.
Nancy infers from this information that Krueger is targeting her and her friends as an act of revenge for their parents murdering him. Later that night, Glenn falls asleep and is killed by Krueger in the most brilliantly excessive and outrageously gory way that definitely doesn't look like a suicide, as if it lifts from the Overlook Hotel was swapped for a teenager's bed.
That's odd. Usually the blood gets off at the second floor.
Nancy shouts across the street to her dad, who is investigating the crime scene across the road, to break into her house in 20 minutes. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Marge is in full crazy alcoholic mode now and has put steel bars over all the windows. I assume as a way of adding tension to the climax. Nancy channels her inner Kevin McAllister and rigs up a series of elaborate booby traps in no time at all before going to sleep and successfully luring Krueger out of her nightmare and into the real world. Krueger then stumbles around the house, getting hit by a sledgehammer and set on fire like he's one of the wet bandits. That reminds me, I really should get around to reviewing some Christmas films this year.
Merry Christmas, Harry.
Happy Hanukkah, Marv.
Don arrives just in time to find a burning Krueger. I wonder if Fred ever stopped to appreciate the irony of being set on fire again, smothering Marge in her bedroom and disappearing into the bed. Don leaves the room, but just as Nancy is about to follow him, Krueger rises out of the bed and behind her. Realizing somehow that Krueger is fueled by his victim's fear, she calmly turns her back on him and Krueger evaporates. I can't help but think that a lot of death could have been avoided if she just tried this a little earlier.
Gone too far this time. I'm gonna have to turn my back on you.
Nancy opens the bedroom door and her surroundings are magically altered so that she is now stepping out the front door with a very much alive and sober Marge. Her friends then arrive to pick her up from school in Glenn's convertible. So does this mean that vanquishing Krueger reset everything, or is it in fact all just a dream? Nancy gets into the car when the top suddenly comes down, coloured in green and red stripes like Krueger's jumper, locking them in as the car speeds down the street. So is this a dream? Is the car Fred Krueger? There's no way things can get any more confusing now. Oh wait, Marge has been transformed into a life-size inflatable sex doll and dragged through the window in the front door. Maybe I'm the one that's dreaming.
I'm not doing this. What's going on with the window?
I love this movie. There are so many brilliant, original, and creative ideas here that its influence on the horror genre continues to this day. The sheer number of extraordinary practical visual effects puts most CGI-drenched PG-13 tepid modern horrors to shame. That it was done on a budget of 1.8 million is truly mind-boggling, as the effects still hold up today. A Nightmare on Elm Street was a game-changer. Before this, the slasher genre was dominated by slow-moving, silent, mortal killers. Craven's decision to add the supernatural element, and especially the dream powers, was masterful and cemented his place as one of the most important figures in horror. That is without mentioning the small detail that he gave us Freddy Krueger. Unlike Michael or Jason, Freddy could tease and mock his victims, which thanks in a large part to the incredible performance by the great Robert Englund, made Freddy the king of slashers and A Nightmare on Elm Street one of the greatest horror movies, not just of the 80s, but of all time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment if there's a film you'd like me to review. I'll see you next time we go back to the future. Goodbye.
Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.